Hello, my loves. Welcome in to a bonus Pick a Card Tarot reading today. I felt called to do a reading, and I didn't know what subject Spirit wanted me to talk about today, but when I asked my tarot deck what the topic of today's reading was going to be, the Fool fell out. So this Pick a Card Tarot reading is going to be all about new beginnings. Whether that is something that you initiate or something that comes in as a surprise, we will take a look to see what new beginnings are incoming for you or what new beginnings you have started and what that journey might look like. If you're ready to jump in, the timestamps are in the description box, along with anything you'd like to know about me, my channel, the decks that I'm using today, and anything else that may be of interest to you. Remember, my readings are here to offer you insight, not instruction, so please use your discernment and your own intuition to navigate your situation as you see fit. Take what resonates and ignore what does not. I'd love a comment or a like on this video. If your reading does resonate, it does help me connect with your energy and know that I'm doing a great job and you're enjoying the content that I'm releasing on my channel. So if you're still here and would like an official introduction to each one of the soul paths today, let me do that right now. For Soul Path 1, we have the Fool from the Steampunk Tarot with the Pyrite Stone. For Soul Path 2, we have the Fool from the Wild Reflections Tarot with the Red Selenite Stone. And for Soul Path 3, we have the Fool from the Flower Child Tarot with the Rose Quartz Stone. So when you are ready, use the timestamp links in the description box to head on over to your reading, and we will see you over there. Hello, Soul Path 1. Welcome into your reading. You chose the Fool card from the Steampunk Tarot with the Pyrite Stone. Now, I don't know why I looked at that. Oh, there's the Death card. I felt it. And I did see it in your pre-shuffle. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse at the bottom of the deck. So I do feel like this new beginning is going to be a result of some change or some slow transformation that has been unfolding over a period of years. So if you've been waiting for something to end, I feel like you are at the last stages of this phase to where a new beginning can occur. But I'm not really sure how long that's going to take. There could be some further changes that are required in order for this new beginning to happen. But when I was meditating on your cards, I did see a train entering the station. So it wasn't quite at the station, though. It was on the outside. So I was looking down the tracks and I could see the train, and the train was coming, but it wasn't quite at the platform yet. So I feel you have a little ways to go, and I couldn't tell you how long before this new beginning begins. But let's get a look at what this new beginning is. Let's get some cards for Soul Path 1 to start the reading. I'm feeling 3. I'm only going to take the... Okay. Spirit didn't want me to take that one. Okay, I'm going to redo this because it flipped over, and I don't know why. I usually would take it if it hits the table, but for some reason it flipped over when I touched it. So it's like, no, I'm not allowed to see that one. I didn't even see what it was, so. Let's see what we got here. We have a sneaky person, a person with a questionable moral compass. We have a detour, change of course. That could be what the Wheel of Fortune is about. And then we have soup, let things simmer. So this doesn't feel like you need to take any specific action at this time to make the change happen faster. I feel like there is a change of course that you have experienced or are currently experiencing, and maybe you don't know that yet. Maybe you are just kind of in a confusing state at this time, and you're not really sure where things are headed. You know things are changing, you know things are falling away, and it's happening really slowly, and it's like, when is this happening? It kind of feels like a simmering energy. It kind of feels like the soup isn't quite ready yet, so it has to sit on the stove for a little bit longer in order for the flavors to meld together, in order for the flavors to round out in some way. And this could have to do with you dealing with a sneaky person, or maybe this energy is a little sneaky where it feels like it's ending. When is this going to end? It's never ending. And then all of a sudden it ends, and you're on to the next thing. So, let's see, what is happening for Soul Path 1 in terms of this beginning? Yeah, it's a bit of a simmering energy already, just out of the gate here with the Two of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups. Ah, change of heart. You could have had a change of heart on something, and then the World. So yeah, you are, this is, if we're talking about beginnings, this is the ending of the previous chapter that you've been in, and I think you've been in it for a little bit here. I think that you are doing very beautifully in whatever this is, and I think that you are having a change of heart in something. You want to move in a different way. You want to move from your heart maybe a little bit more, or make decisions from your heart a little bit more. And because of that switch, we are looking at a change of course. Because I think whatever you were doing before was, you were doing it well enough. You were prioritizing what you need to, but this wasn't sustainable because it required you to consistently feed it in some way in order for you to keep things stable. So again, I don't know if it has to do with this person that you're dealing with, where there was this balance of you and them, and you having to manage your life and their life, and you having a change of heart. Maybe this was a partner, or maybe this was somebody that you're dealing with at work, and you were sort of, what is that word that I'm looking for? I'm looking for a word and I can't put my finger on it at this time. So it's like the word is escaping me. So maybe some results were escaping you with this person or this situation, and maybe your morals or your values were misaligned, and you realize what you actually believe in to be true, believe what's in your heart. Maybe you're moving away from this person because it was too much to kind of keep balanced with this person. So I don't want to say a codependency, but there's this feeling of you having to make adjustments on your side to accommodate this other person in some way. And I don't really know what that is, but if we're talking about new beginnings, this is the end of this chapter, and the Fool comes right after this. So it is within reach, this ending. But right now things are just simmering, because I believe there looks to be some things that are needing to close. Some loose ends need to be tied up. And I don't know if that has to do with you or this situation. I feel like there's other factors at play here. But there is freedom beyond this. So what things can you tie up? What things can you bring to a close? I'm not sure. Bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Wands. So yeah, this is like the last push before you reclaim your balance, or you reclaim this new beginning. I do want to know what the new beginning is. What is this new beginning that's coming in? Because I don't feel I'm getting a lot about this new beginning. I'm getting a lot about the lead up to this new beginning, which is kind of what I felt with that train. How it wasn't quite in the station yet. New beginning. One more. We got some big cards here, so I do believe it's a significant event. There's a Five of Wands again with the Ace of Cups. So you're definitely following your heart. That's a beautiful thing. Let's just see here. We have the Judgment in reverse with the Justice. Judgment in reverse is, I think this is why it hasn't quite come to an end yet, because there's something that you have to detach from or move away from. there's either a higher calling, a higher purpose, or a need to forgive yourself or someone else in this so that you can release the energy that you're putting into this situation. Because I don't think it is reparable. I think that whatever this situation is has completed in some fashion, and there's no going back. So there's almost an acceptance that I'm feeling with this judgment that needs to come in so that you don't have to continue to hold things up anymore. It could be with this person, this sneaky person. Or that sneaky person could be a situation, I'm not sure. And then we have the Justice card, which is, again, a rebalancing, and also really understanding that even though your emotions are playing a part somehow, that you're approaching this from a very neutral perspective. I think that there is going to be a win in whatever this is, and there will be consequences for actions. I think that there's an allowance and an acceptance here of letting the chips fall where they may. So there's this like release, and that could be part of what this world is freedom that doesn't just happen to you, it happens because of you. So it is this release on the grip of whatever the situation is, and accepting this new detour and allowing yourself to stay balanced and neutral in the outcome, in the shoulds, in the expectations of yourself, and where you're headed. I think you're headed to a really beautiful place. We have the cups, Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So this is, I think, you pouring into yourself, you really listening to where your heart is guiding you, and you really hearing a higher calling of, I deserve better, or I deserve more. And no matter the discomfort or the consequence, I am going to take the correct action that is right for me at this time. And there's no judgment in that. But I think this is what's causing the detour. I think the detour is your new beginning. And then we have the 9 of Wands in reverse and the 5 of Wands. I feel like there's a tension that's being released. There's a healing that is happening. And I think you're going to fight your way to the end here. Again, it's like the last push. You are willing to put in a little bit more effort to push beyond this block, this wall, this boundary. And you're no longer in a space of having your guard up or putting in that work with that 2 of Pentacles to perpetually be in this cycle. I think you are evaluating your time, your effort, and maybe even where your money goes, which is aligning to some kind of value or some kind of heart center. And with that, you're able to let down your guard a little, to open your heart up a little, possibly to yourself, but I feel to these new beginnings. And this 9 of Wands in reverse is this energy of healing the wounded warrior, of not persevering in something that is not working, in something that doesn't feel aligned or correct. It is persevering in the things that you feel passionate about, that you feel is important to you at this time. And so this new beginning is really refreshing. There's like a cleansing with this new beginning. There is a freedom and a heart opening. So that might mean a new love for self, a forgiveness of self, a new situation where you really feel emotionally invested and excited and vulnerable. It might be a little uncomfortable, but I feel that it doesn't matter. The discomfort is kind of part and parcel of this new experience, because it is more in flow. It's less resistant. There is less resistance, is what I'm feeling. There is more love overall. This could be new love coming in, where you're opening yourself up again and you're releasing all of the baggage from previous relationships or a relationship that you are moving out of currently. But this just gives me a breath of fresh air in the heart space and a freedom to explore something new that you've never experienced before on an emotional level. I want to know just a little bit more. I want final cards for you. Final cards for Soul Path 1, please. And then we will call your reading finished. If this resonates, let me know in the comments section. And that was in reverse. So regeneration, that feels like death energy to me. And I feel like that it was in reverse in your past. A change in the wind. Yes, thank you. So there is something that you are coming to accept. And because of that, there is regeneration. Yeah, you're between worlds at the moment. But I do really feel that this energy kind of matches this energy where you're moving from a place of something that is dead and gone and not nourishing, maybe with a lot of tension. There's something that's being released so that you can create space for the new thing. It's like you're moving from a gray, dull, dark experience into something that's more colorful, something that's more refreshing, something that is really playful, celebratory, exciting, and is really aligned with your true nature, with your heart. So if that is resonating with you, then continue following what is in your heart. We do have the Knight of Cups at the heart of your reading, and be okay with the changes that occur on this detour. And I'm also just quickly looking at the numbers here. We got 46, 12, and 3. So there's this kind of paring down energy and a letting go because the numbers are decreasing as you move forward. This also adds up to number 10, which is an ending, but also number 1, which is a beginning. So that clarifies the beginning message. This adds up to a 3, which leads to 3. So a really beautiful reading for you today, Soul Path 1. I do hope these messages resonated and were inspiration for your path ahead. Let me know if they were, and until we meet again, stay curious, and I'll see you in your next reading. Hello, Soul Path 2. Welcome into your reading. You chose the red selenite stone with the Fool card from the Wild Reflections Tarot, and I seem to always forget the name of this deck, and I don't know why. So there's a forgetfulness or something you want to say, but you can't quite articulate it, you can't quite communicate it. So I'm not sure if there's a communication block or there's a resistance or a tension that you're feeling with somebody. There's almost maybe a regret of I should have said something or I should have chose differently. And when I tap into this energy here, there's like a confidence. It's almost like childlike energy where when children play, they don't think twice about what they're doing. They don't think about how do I look? What am I feeling? What am I thinking? What are the consequences? It's just play. It's just expression. And so I almost feel that could be part of your guidance, but that also could be the new beginning that I'm feeling, is that you're moving from a space of holding your tongue or having regrets into a space of being open to learning and letting go of old regrets or resentments and having a new experience in that regard. Devil at the bottom of the deck tells me that there could be some things that you are releasing that have held you back or haven't given you the freedom that you're looking for. So again, that childlike playful energy is very free. So I do feel some freedom coming through for you here. Before we get into this, though, let's get a few cards out onto the table and just get a sense for where you're at and possibly what this new beginning is all about. For Soul Path 2, please. Sneaky person that was in Soul Path 1 that is of interest to you. Information, pay attention to details. And one more. Okay, 2 more, 3 more. It's too many, and they were face down, so I won't take them. We're not meant to see them. 1 more. Thank you. Protection. You are protected from any harm. So what I get from this is that information is your armor. And I say armor because I saw this at the bottom of the deck. And be open to new experiences. So that kind of just clarifies that initial feeling or comment about having new experiences and being open and free and releasing yourself from past hurts or past regrets. You know, the shoulda, woulda, couldas. So there's information here that I feel you are learning or you're taking into the next chapter. And this is going to protect you from making the same mistake twice, or protecting you from a specific type of person that may have been on repeat in your life. You know, you're attracting the same person over and over and over again. I feel like you are gathering information to break that cycle, to break that habit, to break that pattern of behavior. But not just that, to really understand the root cause and to really get information, the details about how to heal or release that so that you can protect yourself from people or situations that could potentially cause you harm in the future. And that's not always a black and white thing. You know, we can't always protect ourselves at every turn, but I feel like you are gathering the information that you need for a specific situation. So let's just get some information, maybe the new beginning or where you're at. First, let's kind of get some more information on these cards here. Aha, so it looks like you had a very strong intuition about this person. Maybe this sneaky person that had a questionable moral compass. And you are learning new information that is helping in your healing. Again, with the Star card paired with the information card, that's exactly what we just talked about. And then the Magician, love it. You've got some great cards here. So you're understanding that you are creating a new reality for yourself because of this healing. And I think you really want to get to the root cause of this. 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, you want to have more balance in your life. You want to have more reciprocal relationships in your life. And that doesn't mean you give something and you get something back right away and vice versa. This is about having a mutual respect and, you know, really seeing each other as valuable. I value you, you value me, and just having that reciprocity in whatever form it comes in. I really feel like you are, this is a very powerful reading, Soul Path 2. I think you're doing wonderful work in whatever this is. I do get kind of a self-defense. So maybe you're taking self-defense classes, or you're taking some kind of class on, or some kind of path of learning to protect yourself from something. And I see here that your intuition is very strong, and that's going to help you discern. Developing that intuition and trusting that intuition is really going to help you in the future. So you could be developing your psychic abilities, or just deepening your knowledge about how to use your intuition, when to listen to it, how to listen to it, and tapping into even the emotional aspects of those feelings of when you feel safe and when you don't, and coming up with plans and strategies to remove yourself from situations that you don't feel comfortable in, especially around people who don't feel safe. Now, as we mentioned before, I don't want to repeat it too much, but you're gathering information and looking at the details to be able to heal on a deeper level, to be able to follow something that is purposeful, even that feels authentic and unique to you. And I feel like that may have been suppressed in the past, where you couldn't be in your fullest expression, or you couldn't hear your intuition because there was a lot of chaos going on, or there was a lot of things happening, or there was a lot of tension or stress. So you're really gathering the information that you need to fully understand the situation, to understand yourself on a deeper level, and to align yourself to what feels correct, even if it might be uncomfortable. So yeah, when we move into new zones where we haven't experienced new things, or when we step into things that are unfamiliar, our ego wants to take us back to the places that feel familiar, even if it is unsafe, even if it is not for our highest good. So I really feel you're looking into that, and you're fully stepping into that, where even though it feels uncomfortable to live on my own, as an example, I'm going to do it anyway because this is what I need right now. This is where I feel like my best self right now, and this feels correct for me. So that's kind of what I'm talking about there. Now, with this magician, it's like you have, because of this understanding, because of this healing, you are at the precipice of creating some new things. You are manifesting now at a higher level or a higher frequency. So with this protection in place and with everything that you've learned, you are now transforming your experience, you're transmuting your experience into something that is of benefit to you. So let's get some more information on this new beginning, please. For Soul Path 2, I do see you at a crossroads here, and I think your intuition really did help you make some kind of decision. Even though logically it may not have made sense, and maybe it still doesn't make sense, but your intuition is definitely something that you have used at this crossroads. Knight of Swords in reverse. Just one, please. Thank you. Okay, yeah, there's some limiting beliefs that you're looking at. Four of Cups at the bottom of the deck there. I don't feel you're settling for less anymore. And again, we have books in this person's hand in the Four of Cups. So I think the new beginning comes with the emotional evaluation of the situation, or whatever you might be gathering information on, whatever you might be healing on an emotional level. Again, I feel like there's a lot of unknowns in these new choices that you're making. You will have to use your intuition more than logic, because it's going to go against everything that you might be familiar with. And the Knight of Swords is this energy of not moving too quickly, and also possibly moving away or healing from somebody who is quite impulsive, maybe quite controlling or manipulative. Again, it could go back to this person here. So, yeah, just go slow with this. And the Knight of Swords is also, about the mind. So this could also be about healing limiting beliefs, because we do have more swords here, and unsticking yourself in some way, or looking at where you feel stuck, how you feel stuck. And this new beginning is partly because of the healing, and because of you moving away from somebody that was not good for your mental health. So I think your new beginning has something to do with emotional wellness and mental health, and you creating from a new space. Eight of Swords and the Magician, this tells me to not create it from a space of stuckness or limiting your possibilities because of your previous experiences. This is you really moving beyond those experiences and only seeing the limitations and the stuckness as a reflection of your past, not a definition of your future. And King of Cups, yeah, that's really beautiful. King of Cups at the bottom, or underneath the Four of Cups, that just tells me that there is a lot of emotional maturity, a lot of emotional development happening here. So I really feel like this new beginning is sort of a new mental perspective, a new wellness that's coming in for you. get a little bit more information and then we will end your reading. If this is resonating, let me know in the comment section. If you feel comfortable, of course. Let's get 3 cards. Yeah, I feel like you had to abandon something, or maybe you felt abandoned. In this situation, you felt alone or isolated. Not a very, and 5s are always a very tricky, challenging energy. It is an energy of kind of being, it can be an energy of being painted in a corner and having to make changes. So it kind of feels like a rock bottom moment. And I think with this loyal heart, this tells me that your loyalty is beautiful, but it has to be with the right people. And I think your loyalties have changed or are changing, which could be the reason why your mental health and your emotional health are improving. And that is your new beginning, is because your loyalty is to self now, not to people who don't have your best interest at heart or who don't truly love you in the way that you need and deserve. I love it. 9, Treasure Island. So, Unfinished Symphony. Yeah, number 10, that's an ending for sure. It's gonna feel weird, I think, to move into this new space because it feels unfinished. The story might feel unfinished. And so maybe that's why there's a loyalty here, is because you want to finish something you started. But it's okay to change directions. I'm getting the 8 of Cups in my mind's eye. It's okay to abandon something that you've invested your emotional energy in, and it is not the best that it could be for you. It is not really working out in the way that you'd hoped or planned. And I love that Treasure Island is your final card, because this tells me that there's treasure on the other side of this. There might even be new relationships or new people or new experiences that you come across because you have upped your frequency, you have increased your frequency, or changed your frequency. You are signaling to the external world now that you won't settle for less, that you won't settle for less than you deserve, less than what you want, especially when it comes to the treatment of others. We teach people how to treat us, so there could be boundaries that you could be putting in place, and really being more discerning about who you are allowing into your emotional or mental space. Now, I just want to quickly see if there's any other information for the Treasure Island. Law of Attraction. So that's what this one's talking about. The law of attraction is bringing dreams into fruition. The results of positive thinking is making things manifest. You've worked hard and acted upon your unwavering belief in abundance, and suddenly in the midst of it all, you hit the jackpot. You have uncovered the map to buried treasure and tapped the unlimited potential within you. What you must hone now is your ability to recognize when X marks the spot, because some of these golden opportunities may be obvious, but others may not be so readily apparent. Trust your intuition to light your way now as you enter this truly prosperous phase where all the long, hard work navigating your inner life is now paying off externally. In all aspects of your life at this time, you have good fortune. Don't forget to enjoy it and share it with others, as treasures shared multiplies like magic. That's really beautiful. And I will read the protection message just because it is with the protection card. The protection message usually comes in when these are in reverse, but I'll read it anyway. Poverty consciousness and a sense of not enough casts a shadow on your path. These ideas and core beliefs come with a high cost. You really want to proclaim yourself a victim of disappointment and failed expectations. Are you avoiding success because you will grow so tall that others will want to cut you down? Or is it possible that you're caught in a fear that you will lose what you have acquired, so you hold on so tight that you miss the opportunities to expand? You are challenged to change the way you see the world and move from a perception of limitations to a perception of abundance. And that is that 8 of Swords card there. Take a risk, for you have nothing to lose except your confinement in a prison of your own making. Wow, that's weird, because that's exactly what that card is described as in the traditional tarot. Open the door and find the abundance waiting for you to claim it, and that is that magician there. So you creating your own new beginning, I feel, your own emotional, mental wellness, and finding your path on the way to that, I think, is this new beginning for you. You move from a space of feeling alone and orphaned and isolated to a space of healing and to a space of abundance, beauty, and treasure. But this is all of your own making and of your hard work. So congrats to you and all of the work that you've done up to this point. What a beautiful message, my soul path too. I do hope these messages resonated. Let me know if they did. And until we meet again, stay curious, and I'll see you in your next reading. Hello, my soul path 3. Welcome into your reading. You chose the Rose Quartz with the Fool from the Flower Child Tarot. Now, there's a feeling like, are you already in this new beginning? There's a feeling of, I'm excited, but I'm scared or doubtful. Yeah, there's just a lot of like really excitable, like love of life energy coming through. Now, if you're not seeing yourself there, that could be where you're headed, but let's take a look. Get some opening cards to start your reading. New beginnings for Soul Path 3, please. That's too many. Okay, Spirit wanted those cards, so we will take them. I put them back, and then they came out. Okay. So we have home, appreciate comfort and sense of belonging. We have companion, a close friend with a sharp demeanor. And we have intuition, listen to your inner voice. Yeah, there's this feeling, okay, there could be some in the collective here who have moved into a new place. And they're finding themselves among new social networks, maybe making new friends, maybe repairing some relationships as well. So there's a new love or a new feeling in those relationships that could be part of the new beginning. And because I put these ones back and then they came out again, I'm almost wondering if there is a friend that you once had that is returning. And that is the rich relationship. The relationship is becoming richer there. And then the intuition. It's like your intuition. I feel you've done some work with your intuition. So you're listening to your inner voice a little more. And butterflies usually change form as well. They go from the caterpillar into the cocoon, and then they transform into a butterfly. So there's like 3 stages happening. I almost feel, and this one too with the eggs, it's like they hatch. They are an egg, and then they change form and they become a bird or a chicken or whatever, a turtle, whatever comes out of eggs. So again, there's like this changing form. Something is changing form, and that could be you as well, where you have broken free out of some cocoon or some kind of restrictive place and you've opened up. So let's get into your tarot now. Maybe you see things differently. 5 of Swords, yeah. Wow. That just kind of confirms exactly what we were just talking about, so that's cool. There's a release of tension that is coming through. I love that too. The Justice. And the 3 of Swords. Good on you, Soul Path 3. Strength. More good on you here. I feel like this led up to the new beginning or happened before the new beginning began. I think you might be in this or on the back end of this, where this is kind of leaving. This is the energy that you might be moving through and that is leaving at this time. So 5 of Swords in reverse and the 3 of Swords, there's definitely some healing going on here. Whether you have stepped away from a situation where the fighting and the chaos and the tension was really futile, it was very non-productive communication, and you've just decided to take yourself out. And this could be like a past rift that you've had with somebody within your home, within your family, within your friendship groups. And I think there could be a return of that, but the relationship has changed, or you have changed because of it. So whether or not you reconnect with this person is going to be up to you, and is going to be different for everyone. But whatever this is, I do feel like something has been healed here, regardless of whether you reconnect with this person or not. There's a new response that you have to this person. There's a new response that you have about the situation that you went through, and maybe what you've learned. I'm not quite sure. But you have a new sense of belonging of where you are. And there's been a lot of relief and release that has happened. So this new beginning, I feel, is opening you up to freedom from whatever the situation was. And it has built a really solid foundation of strength and confidence, as well as leadership within you. You have overcome some of those lower energies, like the doubt, like the fear, like the impulsive reactions, like the triggers. And those were the things that may have been overwhelming you in the past, but you're responding to situations so much differently. And that is creating more balance for you, and maybe even a more just outcome. So you might see different results and better results because you are responding in a different way or not responding. So there's a beautiful kind of foundation that I'm feeling. There's just this solidity, not necessarily in like a fixed, rigid kind of way, but just very grounded. And I'm really loving that, especially with the cards that are out on the table. So let's take a look at what this new beginning might be. The 10 of Cups in reverse. That's so interesting. The cards are really on point tonight. When we talk about appreciating comfort and sense of belonging with home, we have the 10 of Cups here, which is essentially where you find yourself in community, home, your emotional connections to those communities and those homes. And when it's in the reverse, it means that you're finding a new sense of community. I think that possibly the community that you found yourself in had a little bit of friction there. And I'm not sure why, but I feel like you are finding a new place for yourself as an individual, possibly, quite possibly. Or you're creating your own family in some way. You're finding a new community that you feel more aligned to. It's really beautiful. What else in this new beginning? Okay, Spirit wants those. The Tower in reverse, yeah. I think you almost became your own best friend here. You had to give yourself some hard truths about certain things, which has helped you heal in some way. And then we have the Temperance card with the balance. Like, what is happening in all of these readings tonight? It's wild. The Magician at the bottom of the deck. So there's that doubt of, I'm excited, but I don't know where this is taking me, or I don't know where it's going. You're on the right path, my friends. You're on the right path. With the Tower in reverse, there could have been a resistance to, getting rid of old stuff that no longer served. And the Tower is all about our foundations. And when our foundations are built on faulty ground, or when we're not building on foundations that are true, they end up crumbling because they can't bear any weight. And because they aren't authentic to us. They aren't those stable structures that will be consistent. And so they have to go. So this can be a little bit of a blow to the ego when it kind of happens suddenly, and it's like, oh, my whole life has changed now. I have a new job. I've got, a new home. With the Tower in reverse, either there's a resistance to that, but because it's paired with 3 of Swords in reverse, I really feel like you did some work to really look at those foundations and be proactive with that. To say, you know what, this needs to go, that needs to go. I need a completely different life, maybe a lifestyle. I need new friend groups. I need to find new community. I've changed personally. I've healed. And because of that, all of a sudden my values are different. And when I say me, I say you. You have looked at the things that have hurt you in the past. You have processed those, and you have made a lot of decisions to recreate the structures and the foundations either within you or within your life. So a lot could have changed, and could very well change in the future and have maybe already changed. But you come to a really, really balanced place in the end. And I think you're really tapped into what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Your intuition even, of this feels correct even though it's uncomfortable, and this feels unsafe even though this person shouldn't logically be unsafe. It feels so. Again, it's not just about this feels good so let's do it. It's about feeling into things and really being truthful and honest about what that sensation is, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it doesn't make a lot of logical sense. It's like, no, this is correct even though it doesn't make sense, even though it doesn't feel comfortable. And there's a lot of balance that comes in with that. It's like you've really mastered this ebb and flow. You've really mastered and alchemized some really tough experiences into something beautiful and very grounded. The Temperance is this energy of being connected with that intuition and your emotional side, but also being grounded and logical as well. So, love, love, love this energy. And again, with the Magician in reverse, it's like, I don't know where I'm going, but it feels really good. And I don't really know what to create right now. I think right now it feels like this new beginning will start eventually, but I think there's some final pieces to the puzzle that need to come in before that happens. I think this new beginning has already started for you, and I don't think you even know it, because it has been so chaotic. It has been so wild. So it's like reveling in the accomplishment of healing, reveling in the accomplishment of moving away from situations or people that weren't correct for you, that weren't aligned. And really finding balance and patience in all of this. That is going to be a wonderful foundation for your new beginning. This new beginning is off to a good start. I will just say that. I can't tell you exactly where it's going, but you're on the right track. So here we go, chaos and conflict. So I think you're moving away from that. That is in your past, and that just clarifies those cards there. Where, yeah, and I feel like in that, those experiences changed you on a very deep level. And I don't think for the worse, I think for the better. So 2 more, and then we will end your reading. Let me know in the comments if these messages are resonating with you. That would be lovely. Come to the edge. So yeah, it's like coming to the edge of your comfort zone. Peace and truth be told. Yeah, that's great energy to be paired with the Justice, because it's like you're opening your heart and telling truth and not really limiting yourself. And come to the edge is like taking a risk and stepping just outside of your comfort zone. Peace, beautiful energy. I just feel like you have come to a really peaceful place, and you are on your way to a peaceful place because you have been truthful with yourself first and foremost. I think that's where it starts. That's where this new beginning starts, is doing whatever you can to create peace for yourself, to maybe find some sense of healing, hope, faith. Remove yourself from the chaos and conflict to find that peace. Wild polar opposites here. And yeah, to be really truthful with the people around you, with yourself, of knowing what's correct, even though it might not feel good in the moment. But really opening yourself up to your intuition and your wisdom. We have the Owl here, which is about that quiet knowing and that higher wisdom that you know to be true, but sometimes, you know, we may not listen to that all the time, because sometimes it tells us stuff we don't want to hear. It's like, no, that's inconvenient, or that's uncomfortable. I don't want to do it. So I think you're really listening to that, and that is opening up a beautiful chapter of peace and honesty and healing and authenticity. That's really, really lovely. Soul Path 3. So these are the messages I have for you. I do hope that they were helpful and inspiring. Let me know in the comments if they were. And until we meet again, stay curious, and I'll see you in your next reading.